Good evening. For my final project, I wanted to research the impact of homelessness in New York City in the past 4 years, and I wanted to see what happened in 2020 during the COVID-19 crisis. I found very insightful data on New York City open data from the DHS, the Department of Homeless Services. The first data set I used is called the Associated Address by Borough and Community District, which is this one. I'm trying to find it right here. Here we go. And I can just drag it into the data source. I'm using it to visualize the number of cases and individuals for shelters by borough. So if I go into my worksheet, the first thing I want to do is to work on the borough situation here and go to geographic role and categorize it as county. So then when I go and I put it into columns as a dimension, here we go, I'm gonna maximize this window. Show me right here, I can actually use it already as a visualization map. But I see that I have 5 unknowns, so I need to edit the location and make sure that this is the right country right here. United States of America, and so therefore Tableau is going to recognize boroughs from the longitude and latitude data. So here we go. This is New York City here. I have the Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, and Staten Island. Now I also want to see the data through the years, the reporting dates. I'm gonna minimize show me right now. I want to exclude 2021 because this year is not over, and I want to focus on those past 4 years right here. I need the data to show a little bigger than that. Here we go. I want to see the label. Well, first, I guess I need to put, I forgot the most important part, which is to put the measures into the row. So I'm interested here in working on the number of cases. So from there, I can choose the visualization map, and I'm going to use this one. And here you go. Now I have my visualization map. Label is very important, so I show mark labels all, and I can see now that in Staten Island, for example, in 2017, there was 5,189 cases, and in the Bronx, throughout those 4 years, there were more cases than anywhere else in New York City, in the other boroughs. And it goes up to 90,000 something in 2020, again higher than the other years, probably because of the COVID-19 crisis. Now I want to do the same thing, so I work on the second sheet with the number of individuals by shelters. So boroughs right here and report date right here. And in the rows, I'm excluding 2021 right now. Exclude. And in the rows, I will do the number of individuals as a measure. And I want to see this in the same format, which is this one, just a different color for the number of individuals. I will use orange, and I want the label to show me the numbers of individuals by shelters location in New York City throughout the 5 boroughs. And I take that out, so I have my legend showing here, and the visualization map of the 5 boroughs in New York City, highlighting the different numbers of cases and individuals depending on the shelter's location. I wanted to push my research further to identify the demographics of the homeless population in shelters in New York City. For that, I went back on Open Data and found a data set that includes the daily number of families and individuals residing in the Department of Homeless Services shelter system and the daily number of families applying to the DHS shelter system. I minimize this and go to my sheet number 3, and I just drag the data right here, and it goes into the data source. I click back on sheet number 3, and here I am. I can work with the data. So date of census as a dimension. I want to filter those years and keep working on the same 4 years. So I click on years, go to next, and exclude 2013, 14, 15, 16, 2021. So I have the right years to work with. And I'm interested in the total of adults in those shelters comparing to the total of children throughout the years. Those values are wrong because this is a daily report, so I need to put the dimension into days. And here we go. I'm just gonna use different colors for adults, a dark orange, and different colors, a lighter orange for children. Label, I'm interested to see the minimum and the maximum data for the children as well as for the adults. Minimum and maximum. Right, so we can see that children is around 23,000 and adults is around 38,000, with a peak during the summer 2020 due to COVID-19. It goes up to 73,000 for the adults, and it goes up to 37,000 for the children, also in the summer 2020. And we can see there is also a rise happening during the fall. So very quickly, I do the same for women and men because I'm interested in seeing the differences of those demographics. So data of census into filters, years, next, excluding 13, 14, 15, 16, and 2021, apply, okay, as a dimension, and as a measure, I'll go into single adult men in shelter comparing to single adult women, and I put this into day because it's a daily report. Label with the minimum and maximum data for both, and I use a different color. I'm going to use green for those ones. Here we go. Now, just to finish and to have a better idea of everything, I want to do a quick story. I'm going to name it Homelessness in New York City. Okay, and I can drag those sheets using a new blank story point for each one of them. And I will, with a bit more time, add the caption for each of my story, and I can just go through them and see here the number of cases, number of individuals, number of cases, go through the arrow, the number of adults and children, and the number of men and women. Here we go. Thank you very much.